GMGP, good morning, good people. Y'all could have been anywhere in the world, but y'all decided to wake up with us. You're sick. You're sick in the head. There's a lot of fantasy football shows out there, but I promise y'all, they not like us. Brock Bowers, you looked a little quicker than fast. What does that even mean? Redraft, dynasty, best ball, high stakes, we got you covered. And that's MVS and Justin Watson with some of the dopest tools designed to help you cancel out the noise and dominate your leagues. If there's a white wide receiver named Antoine, sign me up. Maybe it's cultural. I don't know. In season or off season, rain, sleet, hail, and snow, comma, semicolon, period, next sentence, to bring you the most actionable and entertaining content on YouTube. You don't go buy the dip on the Titanic.
Quarterback that you love, D-Bro. One of the best values in fantasy football.
Prop bets with my man Jay Rich.
Is that yes! Let's go!
So wipe the crust out of your eye, get you a cup of coffee. It's time to wake y'all asses up with Ray
and Jay
in the morning.
My God.
How good is
Dude.
he? How good is he? Let's get it. GMGP. It is Monday, July 21st, 2025. Y'all decided to wake y'all asses up with myself. My brother from another mother is not here. It's solo GQ. It's all me today, baby. So whether you're watching on YouTube, you're watching on X, you're watching on Twitch, you're listening on the pod feed, man, show love. Show some support, hit the thumbs up button, like the stream. What did I miss? We got Drizzy Drake. Even though Jay Rich ain't in the building, we got to put on for my Canadian brother, Jordan Richards. And I see the good people in the building today. What we got, man? Hey, Mox, what's poppin', baby? I missed y'all. On Friday, but my dog held it down with your boys in the building, Solo Ray G. Yeah, we're going to have some fun today, baby. We're going to have some fun. Jorge. You know the show don't start till my man from Rhode Island jumps in the building and Jorge is here. What's popping with you? Just notice Shough on the banner. Has there been any peep about him? Maybe just not on my radar. I mean, it's all the second rounders, baby. They're in the building. The second rounders are in the building. We got camp this week. We got a football game in 10 days. It's already the end of July, y'all. So appreciate y'all pulling up. Richard, GMGP to you. We got one right here, fully guaranteed on his contract. Hell yeah. That's what it is. Got that bread. Number 40th overall pick. Let me hit this Drake. Let me hit the hold on. I don't got Jay Rich. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Turn that off. There we go. No more Drake. No more music. Welcome in. Appreciate everybody in the building. Show love. It's your boy Solo today. Jay Rich is on vacation. He is on vacation. He went out last night. He was here, though. I got footage of him. He's not in the building. Didn't show up for work. But he came over yesterday. Put a brisket on the smoker for my dog, man. So shout out. There he is right there. Jay Rich and GQ in the building. We in the pickup truck right there taking him to his next destination. So it is true. He is in the great state of Texas, but he did not show up for work today. Did not show up for work today, so it's all good. It's all good. Johnny's in the building. Who else we got? Richard, Cold World TDE. What's happening with you, baby? GMGP to you. Talking about Tootin'. Jay Rich killed it last Friday. He did a good job. He absolutely, Jacob, he did a great job. I think there should be some more content on the channel with Jay Rich. He did a very good job on Friday. Shout out to my dog, Jay. GMGP, let's get after it. Yes, sir. Kirk in the building. What's happening with you? Brandon in the building. What's going down with you, Brandon? Royce, what's popping? When the beat drops, though, hell yeah. Man, what did I miss? All right, y'all. Jay's in the building. Look at that. Look at that. Jay's in the building. Yeah, starting on time, baby. You know. I'm old, Jay Rich. We had to get in the bed early, get going, so we can start on time for the good people. Shout out to you. Hope you had a good time last night in those Dallas streets. But since Jay is not here, we cannot straight facts drop it without my dog in the building. So we're just going to talk through what the hell is going on. Today, we've got two more teams reporting to training camp, Dallas Cowboys and the Kansas City Chiefs. I actually got a little banner. Let me roll a little something for y'all. I knew I was going to be solo, so I needed some help. Let's get the banner going at the bottom. We got the Kansas City Chiefs. We got the Dallas Cowboys opening up veteran camp today. There was some news about Jaden Blue, rookie running back for the Dallas Cowboys. All of that was, from what I heard, fake news. Fake news about Jaden Blue being lazy. It was a report from somebody that hadn't worked with the team since I was a sophomore in high school in 2001, I believe, which also a very historic year for us here in the United States of America. But that was a long time ago, so I'm not going to take the word of some player some guy that used to be in the building 24 years ago about Jaden Blue. But the Dallas Cowboys kickoff camp today. Kansas City Chiefs kickoff camp today. Chargers are already in camp. They've got the Hall of Fame game on the 31st. I should know who they're playing on the 31st, but I don't. I know they play on the 31st, and the Kansas City Chiefs. Detroit Lions also at camp for their veterans on the 19th. They have one of their D linemen out for the season. Levi, I can't pronounce his last name, but out for the season. So a little bit of news right there. And then just a lot of stuff going on, man. NFL PA director going to the strip club, spending $2,500 on booty at Magic City. We've got Pat McAfee calling out the PA, JC Treader stepping down. It's just like wild stuff happening like crazy right now in these NFL training camp streets. So let's see what we got. People were taking the over-under when I started. Come on, man. Y'all know I'm on time every time. Yeah, Joe, I see you talking about Arondé Gadsden. We'll get there in a little bit. Jay Rich, what toys did you buy the boys? He ain't buy shit. He bring nothing for the boys. He said the boys were a little too rowdy for him. He got over here. Jay Rich is not used to children. He's not used to children. I got a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old, so if you got kids, you know what that means when you come to the crib on the weekend. It's chaos, and he was not used to a little bit of that. Played some NCAA, and he beat my ass multiple times in NCAA, but neither here nor there. We had some money. So let's start with some positive news. We always got to start the show out. Positive news, some stuff that was going on over the past week. And Kansas City, man, they're making moves. They're signing folks. They're making moves. George Karlaftis got a massive deal, 4-year, $93 million deal for their defensive end. George, 24 and a half sacks over the last 3 years. He gets a big payday to help bolster and keep this Chiefs defense where it needs to be. So Kansas City tooling up defensive side of the ball. They got Trey Smith deal done last week. Karlaftis done a couple of days ago. $93 million for Karlaftis. And I know a lot of people in Kansas City are excited about this one. This is a move. Fantasy football-wise, no impact, but defensively, this defense is going to be very good. It was good last year under Spags. You get a key cog to that defense back. Happy signed. Good move by the Kansas City Chiefs locking him up. But rookie second rounders, we got to talk through some of this because I talked the past couple of weeks about these rookie second round picks not being signed. And then, as we anticipated or expected, once 1 or 2 or 3 of them started to get their money, there was some more signings, like the dominoes started to fall, right? And we knew this would happen eventually, but when? Who would break first? The players, the owners, the agents, who was going to break first? Well, what ended up happening was there was like a cutoff point, right? And somebody, I think Jorge in the chat, asked why Tyler Shough was on the thumbnail. Did we miss something about Tyler Shough? Like, what's going on with Shough? And no, we didn't miss anything, football-wise, but what ended up happening was, I believe Tyler Shough was the last, like the cutoff point of the second round picks that got fully guaranteed deals. So Tyler Shough, Luther Burden, 33 Carson Swessinger, Travion Henderson, all those guys, if I'm not mistaken, they received fully guaranteed contracts. Every dime of their contract guaranteed. And in the case of Tyler Shough, there was something unique about his contract. Let me pull it up real quick. There was something unique about his deal, some stuff that he got worked into his contract that I believe language that first rounders don't even get in their deal. Like some language in his contract that first rounders. Here it is right here. Let me pull it up for y'all so we could walk through this together. Adam Schefter right here. New Orleans Saints and quarterback Tyler Shough reached an agreement today on a fully guaranteed $10.79 million contract at pick 40. He's the last player selected in the 2025 draft to secure a fully guaranteed deal. This contract also includes annual roster bonus structure whereby Shough receives the majority of his compensation each year during the first week of training camp. So not only did Tyler Shough get a fully guaranteed deal, he got this, this roster bonus structure where he gets his money in July and August. He gets most of his money first week of training camp. So this was, I know in the grand scheme of being on the field, playing, doing shit like that, these second rounders, holding in, holding out, however you want to call it, they were always going to play. Like second rounders weren't going to go back to school. They were not going to not play. It was just a matter of fact, if they were going to be able to receive more of their money guaranteed up front than any second rounder at that point had in the past. And the answer to that question and what we saw, it's just big. This is big. 40 of, the first 7 picks in the second round, fully guaranteed deals along with the first rounders. You got to start somewhere. So the door is open for down the line, agents, players, teams to guarantee more of those second-round player contracts the further we go out through the draft. Are we going to get to a world where every pick gets a fully guaranteed deal in the NFL? Probably not. Probably won't see that in our lifetime, but you got to start somewhere. There was a point in time where we didn't think, first-rounders were going to get this, and second-rounders couldn't do that. And what the players and the agents were able to show throughout this process is, that the owners will pay. Now, they cut that off at pick 40, and then after pick 40, I think it was Mason Taylor, Terrence Ferguson down the line. They didn't receive fully guaranteed deals, but 93% of their contract guaranteed, 75%. I think in R.J. Harvey's case, he got more money, more guaranteed money than any player ever picked at that position before him, fully guaranteed. So good win for the players. What does this do fantasy-wise? None of them were out long enough to really impact probably what they're going to do on the field. They weren't out long enough. It didn't carry it. Trey Harris was the one that carried over the longest, and that's simply the fact that the Chargers started camp before anybody else. Their rookies reported on July the 12th. Veterans reported on July 16th, so they had already been in the building a few days before Trey Harris was able to get his deal worked out, to get fitted for his equipment, to get his stuff, to get checked in. So he's the only one that missed, in quotes, time of training camp. All the other guys were there on time, so should not impact them significantly. The ones that hadn't been there for a while, I'm sure they just got stuff to catch up on, learning curve, getting up to speed, things of that nature. But it should not impact their availability to perform this season, which is a good thing. I see some people talking through Noah Fant. We'll get to Noah Fant in a minute. Let me see what else we got. Jay Rich is in the building. Shout out to my dog, Jay. Hope you had a good night. Top 40 outside of Judkins because I don't think he's got a deal yet. Yeah. So, obviously, I didn't bring up Quinshon Judkins. I don't really know how much more we need to discuss him, to talk about a situation. The Browns already said, hey, man, ain't no need to show up. No need to show up. Figure out that. Handle your legal issues, and we'll get back to you. So this is morphed from what Jay Rich and I, what everybody thought. And I mean, I pay attention. I read all. I see it. I watch the news. I don't participate and engage in a bunch of back and forth on social media. It's just no point. Like, it really doesn't get you any far. I might throw some barbs here and there. Positive conversations are dope, but I'm seeing a lot of people, victory lap suspensions, victory lap injuries, the Rashee Rice injury, Judkins. I told you not to draft him. You didn't say shit until the stuff came out, so stop. You didn't tell anybody anything. We just don't know, right? We're talking through what might possibly happen. What I feel is going to happen, I don't think he's getting no damn guaranteed contract. I believe he's the only one inside of that top 40 cluster that has not received the fully guaranteed deal outside of Cincinnati Bengals first-round pick, who's still not in the building, Stewart. Still not there. Not looking good. I'm still not a believer that he's going to return to college football, but the report that came out, what was it, last week, he was training, working out at A&M, and then there was another report that came out is absolutely he's not working out with the team. He's just training at the facility, which I buy. But where there's smoke, typically there's a little bit of fire. All right, if there's smoke somewhere, even if it ain't a fire, you need to go check. You see some smoke in the backyard, the grass is dry, you need to go look. You don't need to just ignore it. So I'm still not on board with Stewart going back to Texas A&M and doing anything to drastically improve his draft stock and re-enter the 26th draft. I'm not there yet. I think this is one of those things that probably gets done start of the season, beginning of the season, hopefully sooner rather than later. But this is a big problem. Stewart ain't been there no point in time throughout any of the offseason program. Rookie minicamp, voluntary OTAs, and when his ass is supposed to be on the field, he's still not there. This is a problem, Bengals fans. This is a problem. As far as these other cats, they should be all right. And they got paid. They got their bank. That's what they needed to do. Let me go to the chat, see what y'all are talking about. Oh, man. First thing that I see, goddamn, Andrew talking about Phil Maffa. Phil Maffa, for those of y'all that know, 7th-round rookie running back out of Clemson, drafted by the Dallas Cowboys in round 7. Pick 200 and something. I will see. I am not in on Phil Maffa. I believe it's going to be, as anybody who follows, who has watched, who's been around the Dallas Cowboys last 15, 20 years, outside of Ezekiel Elliott, they don't give a damn about the RB position. They found DeMarco Murray. They've used players that you probably don't even know. Troy Hambrick. The year that they took Felix Jones in 2008 in round 1, they drafted Tashard Choice out of Georgia Tech in round 4. They will play anybody. Julius Jones, 2nd-round pick. Zeke, obviously picked early. Last year, Rico Dowdle, who had been on the roster for 2 years and hadn't done a damn thing, leads the team in rushing. It's going to be Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders. We'll see about Deuce Vaughn. And Jaden Blue. I'm not there with Phil Maffa. I'm not buying the report and the word of somebody who was in the building 24 years ago. I've never heard anything about Jaden Blue being lazy at Texas. If anything, what I heard about him is he can't hold on to the damn ball, which is problematic in its own right. But I didn't hear anything about his work ethic. I don't know. I didn't hear anything about it. So I'm not running with that. Phil Maffa, until he's on the field doing something, I'm just not believing in a big boat out there running the ball. He's slow. He's not I'm not there with Phil Maffa. And I don't believe that the stuff surrounding Jaden Blue is quite, I don't know how viable that is, man. I do not believe that at all. So he was compared to James Conner by Shough. Yeah. So is Troy Hambrick. Go look him up. If y'all remember who so is Troy Hambrick. So I don't know. I'm not getting into coach speak and pumping up players to that degree. It was a 7th-round pick. Yeah, the news from Blue was a non-current coach. It was not currently a coach on the Cowboys roster. Hey, I got this thing where I could put comments on the screen. I'm gonna try to do it. I don't know if this is gonna work or not, but I'm gonna try to do it. I wanna do it so I can read it right off of the screen. I'll try to do it at some point during the show. Shamar Stewart playing in 2032. Again, I don't know. This is one I've got no lean on it. The 2nd-round pick, that was something that, like, hey, man, they better sign. And what did I say the whole time? They better sign before the damn veterans get there. And they all got in before the big dog showed up. This Stewart thing, man, it is wild. Cold World TDE says embarrassing for the Bengals. Embarrassing for the Bengals. Stanley's in the chat. Stanley saying he's going to play. He's going to play at some point. I agree. Streaky Drip, talk to me, man. Streaky Drip said Judkins is punching air. He didn't sign that contract. Was Judkins offered a deal? Can somebody confirm that? Was he offered a deal and decided not to take it and then got, I don't want to use the pun, but he's punching, folks, women. He's beating women. He hit his girlfriend. That's what he did. Allegedly, that's what he did. Well, I didn't know he was offered a contract. I did not know he was offered a contract. Had no clue. Bengals also signed Desmond Ridder. So there you go. You cannot get your 1st-round pick in the building. There's issues over contract, but you got that damn what's his name signed. Got that other player signed, whoever it was. Who was it? Desmond Ridder. Good job. What else is going on? Yeah. Noah Fant. The people in the chat are talking Noah Fant. So let's talk through it. Adam Schefter, was it last night? This is President Trump threatening the stadium deal in Washington. We'll talk about that. They want the name back to what the name was for, like, as long as I remember football, the Washington Redskins. So they want, or he wants that name back. People want that name. I don't know who wants the name back officially, but I know there are people who still call them the damn Redskins. But Noah Fant, let's talk through that. Noah Fant released. What does that mean? How does this impact Sam Darnold, who, by the way, debuted on the NFL Top 100, I believe 72nd player, as voted on by his peers, the 72nd best player in the NFL, as voted by his peers, starting quarterback Sam Darnold of the Seattle Seahawks. But he will not have tight end Noah Fant, who they dropped him. They released him. Seattle Seahawks released veteran tight end Noah Fant for the 2019 first-round pick acquired in the 2022 trade that sent Russ to Denver. Over the past 3 seasons, Fant's played 42 games, 130 receptions, 1,400 yards, and 5 touchdowns. Probably a little better than that Isaiah Likely we've been rolling out there for the past 3 seasons. But Noah Fant is he's out. No Seattle Seahawk. And listen, I'm almost positive RayGQue would not lie to y'all. I'm not going to lie to the people in the building today. I'm solo, no Jay Rich. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I told y'all about A.J. Barner at the end of the season. Y'all, tight end is like, I don't know why so many people struggle with the tight end. I told y'all A.J. Barner was going to have some opportunity. If a young tight end is able to get on the field early as a rookie, man, and show something, doesn't have to go Brock Bowers level. I mean, when you do that, you just put yourself, you're at the top of the MCU at that point, Brock Bowers. But these tight ends who come on late at the end of their rookie year, Trey McBride did it a little bit before he broke out in 2023, but it was easy to spot. They kept playing A.J. Barner. He was a useful piece in that offense. He never exploded. He never had some big blow-up game, but there was enough there in that A.J. Barner tank to be like, hey, man, this dude costs us absolutely nothing. He's pretty damn good. Good chemistry in the offense. Year 1 with Mike Macdonald as the head coach. I told y'all about Barner, and he was free, literally on waivers everywhere. So good opportunity for not only A.J. Barner, but their second-round pick, Elijah Arroyo, who also signed a not fully guaranteed deal, but it was more guaranteed money than that pick in the past had received. He is in the building as well. So Noah Fant is on the move. Seattle said we're going to go younger. We got A.J. Barner. We drafted Elijah Arroyo. And some of the talk surrounding Arroyo coming into the draft, or right after he was drafted by Seattle, was using him. And I kind of don't like doing this because we did this with Kyle Pitts. We're going to play him as a receiver. Not a receiver, you're a tight end. As is Elijah Arroyo. But a lot of the talk was, hey, we're going to play him as like a big slot. We're going to play him outside. He's going to line up and he's going to do receiver for Seattle. He's going to do receiver. This kind of signifies that. You got Cooper Kupp, who is in the twilight of his years. You've got an ascending Jackson Smith and Jigba. Outside of that, for the Seattle Seahawks, MVS to stretch the field. You've got those 2 tight ends, A.J. Barner. You've got Elijah Arroyo, rookie. This is good for finding inexpensive options to be a piece of an offense at a very difficult position, at a position that everyone's chasing. There's only like 6 or 7 of them that matter in the grand scheme of things. So everybody's chasing that next thing. We could have something brewing in Seattle with that tight end room. Let me see what y'all are talking about. I saw some people saying Noah Fant to Seattle. I don't know. Coach Speak Index, hype train on Arroyo. Let me see what he said. Let's go. Shout out to Coach Speak Index. Coach Speak Index, good stuff. Like the content that he puts out. He supports what we do over here. So definitely support him. Okay, we got some Arroyo stuff. All right. Thank you for bringing this up, John. Appreciate you. Let me pull this up. Coach Speak Index. This was Seattle Seahawks head coach Mike Macdonald on Elijah Arroyo right after the draft, 425-25. Arroyo can run an extensive route tree. He could split out wide, do X receiver type things. Bigger body, provides a ton of value. And then he's going to go in there as an actual inline tight end and create some of those bigger personnel formations. That is the vision we have for him. That was Mike Macdonald on rookie tight end Elijah Arroyo from April 25th, 2025, talking about size, where he could play, where he could line up. I'll just say this, eyes on the ground, boots on the ground in Mobile. He was probably, Kyle Williams was there. He was probably the most impressive pass catcher in Mobile this past year. You had Harold Fant. I mean, and there were a lot. All the tight ends were there. You know, Terrence Ferguson was there. Mason Taylor was there. Harold Fannin was there. I mean, you had who's who of tight ends in Mobile this past Senior Bowl. And then you had some really good pass catchers there as well. But just pound for pound, bar for bar. And you could check the timeline. Me and Jay Rich were tweeting this out as it was happening live in Mobile. It was like, who the hell is number 80? He was bigger than everybody else. He aligned all over the place, in line, X receiver, outside, split out wide, in the slot. He lined up everywhere in the practices. And one of the things that I continued to sort of report about and talk about being eyes on the ground there was how different his usage and deployment was from that of Mason Taylor, from that of Harold Fant. And Harold Fant had not at one point in time, and this was practices run by NFL coaches, there was not one practice where Harold Fant aligned in line, hand in the ground, is your traditional tight end. He was always flexed. He was in the backfield playing fullback. He was in the slot. There was no time where he was hand in the dirt. Arroyo, hand in the dirt, X, slot, Y. He was all over the place, So very excited about him. He's still a rookie, so there'll probably be some learning curve there. I think this is good for both A.J. Barner and Elijah Arroyo. If you got Arroyo, stock definitely went up. Definitely went up. And I'm not just I don't think tight ends can play receiver. I don't. I think a tight end is a tight end for a reason, and a receiver is a receiver for a reason. But if you've got somebody that's versatile enough to move them around, this could work very, very well in Seattle with both Barner and Elijah Arroyo. I think they play differently. Barner feels more of that traditional hand in the dirt tight end. This is exciting for rookies, for the prospectus of the Seattle Seahawks offense. This is exciting as hell. I see somebody, the way you're talking about Arroyo back then made Mrs. GQ nervous. Hey, easy. We'll get to Gadsden in a minute. Fannin did not look good at the Senior Bowl. Listen, Garrison, I'm not going there. You know, I'm not saying that. You could say that. I'm not going to dispute you. I just thought he looked different. And we always talk about this. And something that I know you guys have heard me preach, and you guys are starting to notice it on your own. Just because the player has the positional designation behind their last name does not mean that they play the same position and occupy the same role at that position as somebody else on the team, right? Deuce Vaughn and Miles Sanders are both labeled running backs, but I guarantee you the playbook in which Deuce Vaughn can operate running back shit is much different than that of Miles Sanders, even there. Or James Conner from, Emery DeMarcado. They may be the same position, but they occupy different roles in this offense. We needed something to clear out in Seattle. Something needed to get out of the way in Seattle, whether that was A.J. Barner, whether that was Noah Fant. And the Seattle Seahawks, they went the right route. They went the cheaper route. They went with the less expensive route, and they went with the youthful route. Now, my bigger question is, how does Sam Darnold handle all of this, right? Because here's what I don't believe is going to happen. I do not believe that both Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet are going to go off. I do not believe that Cooper Kupp is going to be a useful wide receiver too, while JSN is a top 5 guy. And inside of this Sam Darnold-led Seattle Seahawks offense, we also get a high-level tight end or two. That is too much beans. There are too many magic beans being planted, hoping a goddamn fantasy beanstalk grows, putting all that seed in Sam Darnold. I don't believe that's a wise thing for any of us to do. Maybe you take the running backs out of it. Maybe they'll be fine. Maybe both of those guys smash. But the pass catchers, there's no world in which Sam Darnold is probably supporting top 5 JSN, top 24 Cooper Kupp, and 2 usable tight ends. I'm not there yet with Seattle. All right, I've been talking for a minute. Let's go to chat, see what y'all are talking about. My man D-Bro in the building. What's up, D-Bro? D-Bro said Arroyo. D-Bro was there? Think I'm BSing? Probably pound for pound, play for play, the most impressive pass catcher in Mobile. It was like, holy hell. When I got back, the first little Twitter clip thing that I broke down was Arroyo. Let me go back and see how much of this was And when you watch it, a lot of people are going to be like, man, he didn't produce a lot. Go watch the tape. It's how Miami played. It was not a byproduct of Elijah Arroyo not being able to get open. He was somebody that back in the day, way back ago, back in them Devy days, that people were excited about when he got to Miami. He's a big athletic tight end. Miami had shit at quarterback. Awful situation until Cristobal got there. They bring in Cam Ward, and then you see what he had, like 17, 18 yards a catch at the tight end spot. He was always open. Excited for him. Yeah. D-Bro said he dominated Mobile. Absolutely dominated down there in Mobile. Oh, boy. I'm not. Whole world is me. It's only me screening the chat, so I'll just see what's at the bottom. That Travis Hunter wife crying video I'm not going into it. I'm not doing it. Not today. I'm not talking about anybody's marital situations today. Not on Monday, Cold World. Y'all can talk about it. Not on Monday. Let me see. Putting all that seed in Sam Darnold is crazy. Y'all are out of line, man. Y'all are you are absolutely out of line. You dirty individuals up. Yes, you are late. SJE, you are late, but you are here. So appreciate you being in the building, man. Let's see. D-Bro in the building. Patrick, Seahawks need someone like Arroyo. I agree. Seattle better with Milroe. Stanley off that juice early this morning. Stanley, stop it. Stop it, Stanley. Arroyo injured way too much. A.J. Barner will probably outproduce him. I'm not going to argue. I think A.J. Barner is going to be on the field. I think he's going to be on the field. Am I ready to say he's going to outproduce him? I don't know. I don't know if I'm there yet. Go to DD grades. Arroyo posted grade was 6.8. However, should look at Darnold. Hockenson connection after he was healthy. 41 receptions, 455 yards, 11 yards per catch. Okay, so Jeff doing some math for us. Hockenson connection after he was healthy. I don't know what week this was. Jeff, give us the week. 41 receptions for Hawk, 455, 11.1. Again, that's a KOC offense. We know it's a dope offense. Hawk is the man. He's done it for years. Yeah, Arroyo's rookie grade for me was really high. Really high. Will Fant get picked up? Yeah, absolutely. I think so. Let me not say absolutely. I think so. I think somebody who's played 42 games over the past, I don't think Fant's ever hurt. He's just not sexy, right? He's not the sexy name. We were excited about him when he came out of Iowa. It didn't quite live up to those expectations, but I don't see why he wouldn't get picked up in the NFL of the game of attrition, injury. I don't see why he wouldn't get picked up. Okay, look, gotta go to break. GQ needs to drink a little bit. A lot of that talking on the stream with No J Rich. So we're gonna go to break. This break, no BR intermission. BR, they're switching us up. Season starts, so we got to get a new schedule. So there's no NFL Daily right now. We'll get a new schedule here. We'll let y'all know. But later today, I am dropping Antonio Williams, a wide receiver out of Clemson. We've got Carnell Tate, wide receiver out of the Ohio State Buckeyes, that will be up next this week. Jay Rich did a good job with those, so I'm going to drop a preview for Antonio Williams right now. Hit the thumbs up button, like the stream, and then when we get back, more content. More talk. We got to talk Chargers, QJ, Trey Ayers, Aronde Gadsden, Cowboys, Lions, Tigers, Bears, all that shit. Let's get after it after the break. Let's go. Now, when you're evaluating the receiver position, the ability for a wideout to create separation, whether that's off the line of scrimmage, throughout the route, or at the catch point, it's paramount. You have to be able to give your quarterback a window and some room to deliver the ball. Clemson's returning All-ACC wide receiver Antonio Williams is one of the best separators in this projected upcoming 2026 NFL draft class. He's one of the quickest wide receivers in this cohort, and he's going to be playing on one of the better offenses with one of the best quarterbacks in the country. Antonio Williams is the real deal. There's a lot to like about his game, and most draft scouts right now at this stage of the process have him as the number one wide receiver in this class. Is Antonio Williams the top dog in 2026? How might his game translate to the next level? We got the data. We got some film. 2026 summer scouting continues with the wide receiver position. Clemson's Antonio Williams. Let's get it. Welcome back to the station. Welcome back to the channel. Y'all know who it is. Hard cut right there. Jay Rich is your boy Ray G. You can find me on X at RayGQue. That was a preview for the next 2026 summer scouting rookie profile. Clemson's rising preseason All-American Boney Tony, Antonio Williams, wide receiver out of Clemson. This will be on the video later today, probably noon, like 12 o'clock, lunchtime for you to check out. So make sure you tap into all the 2026 summer rookie scouting content on this channel. Subscribe to the channel. Carnell Tate up next. Sam Levitt, my goodness. Jay Rich spanking me on NCAA with that Arizona State Sam Levitt. Very good. He will be third up after Carnell Tate. We'll roll to Sam Levitt, and then we got some more players that we got to get to before college football season. Very excited about this 2026 upcoming class. Quarterbacks are dope. Some very good running backs, some good receivers in this class. Y'all see the NFLPA is just, there's a lot going on. Lloyd Harrison, got to stay out of Magic City. Stay out. Stay out of the city, man. Stay out of Magic City. Let's see what we got. Can we talk about Coldplay? Man, you don't. Dude, the man, did y'all see his response? He already resigned, right? The CEO, HR scandal. How are you? Let me tell you something, man. I saw Eric Crocker. Let me find this tweet. This was a good tweet from my man EC talking about people cheating in public, but pretty wild to be that bold to do that out in public. And now everybody is mocking them. You had the Phillies mascot recreating the Coldplay image. Don't cheat in public. Don't cheat at all, but damn sure don't do it at a public concert, man. You are a bold individual to do that. Bold individual. Oh, no, Fant, still 27 years young for a tight end. Right spot could lead to a late career breakout. I don't disagree. I mean, you've shown an ability to be on the field. You're healthy. Just wasn't in Seattle's plans. He didn't feel like a part of the plan, right? He just didn't feel like a part of the plan. But I don't think that means he can't play. So, yes, I absolutely think he gets picked up by, Jay Rich saying a lot of ballparks did it. Yeah, I think he absolutely gets picked up. No doubt. Money don't make humans superheroes, right? Listen, I said this. My comments were taken completely out of context whenever I was saying this about Judkins. And no, normal, regular, rational people don't beat people. They don't do shit like that. But humans, man, like money don't make people superheroes, right? It doesn't make people immune from doing and being, just doing shit that people do who don't have millions and billions and zillions of dollars. Like, we're all humans, man. You cut one of us, we all bleed the same color. So money doesn't make people do things the right way, doesn't make them do shit the wrong way. People are people, man, and these folks out here just wilding the hell out left and right. All right, let me check the news feed to see if anything has happened while we were on stream. It always seems like as soon as we get off of the damn show, there's news that breaks, but it doesn't look like anything. Nothing right now. We went through Karlaftis and what happened with that. Lions lost a defensive tackle for the season. 49ers released George Odom. The Bears have, Ricky Pearsall. I saw a lot of people panic when the report came out that Ricky and, Brandon Aiyuk are going to start on PUP. But the more I looked into it, I don't think there's anything wrong. Every beat reporter out of San Francisco, and I believe they take the field on the 22nd, the veterans, they're like, he's going to be out there right when camp opens up, unless there's something drastic with the hamstring injury. Remember, he was suffering from hamstring, I believe, soft tissue injury over the earlier part of the summer. But everything that I've read is Pearsall's in the building. He's going to be in the building. He's going to be okay. Now, Juwan Jennings, I've heard nothing. I've heard absolutely nothing surrounding Juwan Jennings and his contract situation. So I guess we shall see. The Niners need them in the building. You know, you paid Brock Purdy $250 million. You need to have somebody that can throw the damn ball to. CMC's back. George Kittle's going to do his damn thing. But you need a receiver. And as excited as we might be for Ricky Pearsall, he's a rookie, second-year receiver, played sparingly during his rookie year. So I don't know if Kyle Shenanigans is ready to just turn the offense over to Ricky Pearsall. So you got to get Jennings in the building. I don't know where they are with that contract situation. But at least from what I've read about Pearsall, the injury, him starting on PUP is not a big deal. Small deal, not a big deal, should be out there, right? Should absolutely be out there. I said, this is a different conversation, Patrick. Patrick said Pearsall soft tissue issues back-to-back years, not a good look. I'm not saying it is. I would prefer, just like I prefer my players not to be arrested in a mugshot taken, I prefer them not to have soft tissue injuries back-to-back years. It's not a good look. But at least he'll be available in July. At least he's not starting off injured, can't run, do stuff like that. We don't want that, right? We don't want that, but at least he's okay. At least from everything that we know. Aiyuk buy low. Let's talk through this real quick. Aiyuk got paid. They drafted a first-round receiver. You got Jordan Watkins. You got this other guy. You got Jawan Jennings. If Pearsall plays well this year, let me ask y'all this question. Real talk. Pearsall plays well this year. Like, he plays really well. I'm not saying he's all pro, but he at the end of the season, you look up and you're like, they're going to build around him. Not Jennings, not Aiyuk. I know Aiyuk got paid, but Pearsall, this first round, sticky hands, good route runner. Who would go into 2026? Fully healthy Brandon Aiyuk, a second-year breakout going into year 3, first-round pick. Both of them were first-rounders, right? And Aiyuk's got the contract. Who do y'all think would be the primary target earner in San Francisco? Aiyuk's season is fine, but my expectation for him is much lower than a lot of other people. Everybody has always told me, first-year receivers, first-year skill position players returning from an ACL injury, it's no bueno. Not good. Wait until the next year. So if we're going along that train of thought, Aiyuk is fine, but not all the way Aiyuk-ish in 2025, but Pearsall takes a step forward. He hadn't gotten shot in the damn chest. He's been in camp. He's there. No Aiyuk. I think that the team would build around and prioritize Ricky Pearsall. So my question back to this is, buy low for what? Like, what's your buy low expectation? Aiyuk's going to come back and he's the number one. He's the primary target. I'm not claiming to know enough about Frisco. I'm just talking through the situation and the potential range of outcome, knowing that this dude has got an ACL injury, knowing he's not 100%, knowing what the 49ers invested in Pearsall, and then some of his talent and skill set. When they did hyper-target him, I know it was only a week or two, but he looked really good. Who would be the one? So, yeah, buy low, but for what? Like, buy low for what? Buy low for him to become what? A wide receiver 2, 3? Because go look at the Trinity. It just tells you how they were being used. This is the beauty of the dots. The beauty of the dots are the dots have no bias, right? The dots aren't, this one was a second rounder, I like this one. The dots, all they're doing is showing this is how San Francisco prioritized them. All the stuff that you look up individually, target share, yards per route run, first down, is all in the dots. And if you look at the dots say he was used less than any of them guys pre-ACL. Pre-ACL tear, he was used like the third, fourth option in San Francisco for whatever reason. So I'm just telling you, trust it. You don't have to agree, but it is telling you this is how they were used. Matter of fact, I'm about to go look it up. I've always, my fraternity, man, we say so. We got a little saying, I'd rather see a sermon than to hear one any day, right? Let me see what you're talking about. You're saying all this, Ray, but I'd rather see a sermon than to hear one any day. So I'm going to go ahead and deliver some church to y'all right now. Church of the Trinity. That's what we're going to do. Trinity Church right now. Here goes San Francisco. And the share screen is a little off. Let's get here goes the usage of those guys. Last year, there's no filtering. Weeks 1 through 17, highest utilized guy, Jennings, 6.74, 14 points per game. George Kittle outscored him. 6.63 usage is insane for a tight end to have that good of usage. There goes Brandon Aiyuk down there, 6.01. I mean, wasn't doing a lot with what he was offered. Everybody else, and you look at this chart right here without looking at anything. I know that those two dots that don't have names on them, they did the most with the least. They weren't used a lot. They weren't used a bunch, but they outscored other players with similar usage in that range. Who is this? Who is that? That's Deebo Samuel, and back there, that's Ricky Pearsall. 3 Trinity score, which is putrid for the entirety of the season, but he outscored other players who scored 3s. Whoever was used in 3 ways, he's better than them. Aiyuk, what this is telling me, players who are used in this range, 6.1 usage, target share, first downs, routes, he's scoring less than the average player that's used as much as Brandon Aiyuk. So, sure, I'll buy. I guess my expectation for him is just a little different, right? I don't think he's the one. I don't know if he's coming back to do all of that stuff, but I'm going to show you a sermon then to talk to you about one. So, trust the Trinity, trust the dots. Where else we going on this stream? Where are my people at? 379 people in the building. Let's go. Damn. Hit the thumbs up button. Like the content, Mark. Like it, Mark. You put it in here. I hope you liked it, Mark. Used in 3 ways. I need Jennings. Nah, Trinity Church sounds like a Mormon cult. Okay. All right. We won't call it that. All right. We won't call it that. Yeah, Jamal, let's go. Hit the damn like button if you're in there. Now do career Trinity. No. You could go back through the seasons and do that, but we can't do that on the show. So is Aiyuk a dead asset at 27? I mean, no, he's not a dead asset, but he's just, I think what happens is, just think, let's remove fantasy football and picking which one. Most teams, all 32 teams, most teams run out what? There's 32 teams. They run out base formation, probably 11 personnel. A lot of teams are running 3 wide receivers. So just do the math right there. You've got, what's that, 96 starting receivers on a given week. 96 receivers being just at minimum for all 32 teams rolling out there every single week. You got 96 receivers. There's only 24 that are wide receiver 2 out of 96. There's only 24, right? And then outside of that, there's 6 elite ones. And then there's 12. So the reality is once you get to that range of wide receiver 15 to wide receiver 30, a lot of those guys outside of situation, they're the same. They're all Juwan Jennings, 14 points per game, costs you a lot less than Devontae Smith's 14 points per game. What does Smith score? 14, 15 points? But Jennings, 14, 15 points costs you a lot less. So is Aiyuk a dead asset at 27? No, but I think that the fantasy football space is becoming sharper at identifying like bets to make. Like I'm not giving you a first round pick for a player that I could find similar production later. Like I think we're sharpening up in the space about just foregoing that range of player. If you believe that he's better than that, if you're listening to this like, man, you're way off the mark, this is an elite talent, he's a top 10, top 12 option, then you go buy. You pour into that asset and you rock with it. I'm not going to tell you now. For me, I think he's more in that flat range. I think he's in a range of good receiver, not great. But you know who else is in that range? 40 other guys. Literally 40 other guys. And probably the one at the back of that tier is scoring you within 1.5 to 2 points of the top part of that tier. And it costs you significantly less. So is he a dead asset? Nah, man. As long as he's on the field, he's a live asset and he'll remain a live asset. But I don't think people are paying up for that range of receiver anymore. Either you're going to be elite, and I'm going to pay full freight to get an Amara, to get a Nico, to get a Puka Nakua, to get a CD Lamb. I'm going to pay full freight for a true difference maker, but I'm not giving you a goddamn first round pick for wide receiver 24. For wide receiver 20. I can go buy DK Metcalf. That's probably going to give me similar production for less than I can some of the guys that are valued higher because of the name, because of the team, because of the quarterback, right? I don't think he's a dead asset. I just think we're much sharper in fantasy. And then when you've got tools that show you that, if I can make any pitch to you about some of this stuff, especially wide receiver, man, here's what we do. We go Aiyuk versus. Let me go to KTC real quick. Let me talk to y'all real quick. Let's go to KTC. I know y'all don't like it. I know you don't like it, but let's go to KTC real quick. And I don't know any of these players. Get out of here. I don't know. I'm not gonna help formulate these ranks. I am looking for Brandon Aiyuk. Brandon Aiyuk, wide receiver 40 on KTC right now. Wide receiver 40. All right. He's in between Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Adams, Jaden Reed. Here's some, I'm just looking at guys after him. Chris Godwin, Cortland Sutton, Khalil Shakir, Jacoby Myers, Michael Pittman. Flip the page. Jawan Jennings, lower than him. Darnell Mooney, Debo Samuel, Stephon Diggs, Rashad. There's so many of them, man, that what do you expect? You know, the market's already baked him in there. He is what he is. The ticker at the bottom is fire red. Cool, Austin. I'm glad you like that. Since I'm flying solo, give y'all a little something at the bottom. All right. Agree, Austin. San Francisco. Oh, okay, D-Bro, I didn't know this. Shout out to D-Bro. Hey, man. We're talking fantasy football, right? Fantasy freaking football, NFL, the game. Show love, man. Derek Brown does a lot of great work for fantasy players. This is one of my best friends in the space, man. I think he dropped some big-ass article, 200 players, something like that. I'm not affiliated with Fantasy Pros at all, but I support my man D-Bro. He's supporting us in Wake Up. Check out his content, man. He put out a big piece, and I know that took a lot of time. Appreciate you being in the building. And he said San Francisco can get out of that contract 26. So, oh, boy, Will Levis out for the season. From Matt, breaking news. Will Levis out for the season. Is that... Is he hurt, or is he like, F this, Cam Ward is here, I'm out of here? Stanley said, Ray, stop teaching them how to play. I'm just talking ball, Stanley. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking ball. And I think sometimes if we just pare back who gives a shit what the name is? If I just told you you're getting this, back to the full point I was trying to make about Aiyuk. What a lot of people do is go, Brandon Aiyuk versus this player, Brandon Aiyuk versus that player. I'm looking at Brandon Aiyuk versus Brandon Aiyuk and the San Francisco 49ers. You want me to pick somebody that the team prioritizes second, third, fourth over an option that's the number one because I like the name better? Like, I don't do that. I don't play fantasy football like that. My first level of analysis in receiver, folks, I think it's the easiest position to spot. Not scout, but once they're in the league and being used, it's very easy to just, even Quentin Johnson, I know people hate him, right? Over the past week, Dwayne McFarland, myself, hey, QJ might not be this great. And I was not. I don't know why people think I was QJ wide receiver one. That was not the case from RayGQue. I stayed far away from Quentin Johnston. But in season, when the team is using him and they're throwing, it's very easy to see, hey, man, you might not like him, but the dots, he's being used. And this is a fantasy asset or an asset that you can use in fantasy football. It's really easy to see. But the first level of analysis is, what is that player's own situation like? Like, they don't even use him. They're not like that. People miss the boat so much focusing on their individual prospectus of the player as what they thought they could be coming out of college. I don't give a shit what I thought they could be. Once they get to the NFL, whatever the team tells me they're going to do is what I'm going to follow. That's how I play. Damn it, I was wrong. I thought this guy would be great. The team says, no, you're not going to play. I was wrong. I'm done. I didn't like this player, but the team throws him out there and keeps throwing. That's how people missed on Puka, how people missed on Amon-Ra St. Brown. How people think about how people missed on those players. It wasn't because people didn't like Amon-Ra or Puka coming out. That might have been some of it, but people missed because once the team started to use the player, people just ignored the shit. No way. Cannot possibly be. Same shit is happening with Xavier Worthy. And that's what we're going to end on here today. There was a lot of talk about Rashee Rice, people victory lapping Rashee Rice being suspended. I thought, maybe I'm wrong, it was a foregone conclusion he was going to get suspended at some point. To be fair, I think a lot of people didn't know if it was going to happen this year or next year, but didn't we know he was getting suspended? He crashed into somebody and took life, I believe. Did we not know he was going to get suspended, Rashee Rice, at some point? So victory lapping it now seems wild. Neither here nor there. His suspension is pending. We'll see what that's going to be. The NFL will drop the hammer soon. I've been telling y'all for weeks, for months, trust it, Xavier Worthy is happening. He is set up to be, and in my watching him, weeks 13 through 17, I watched every single target. Because I just want, how much of this is for real? How much of it was, dude, it's for real. And I think what people are doing is they are looking at how good Worthy can be and then subtracting it away from Rice, when I think both of those guys add to one another. I think both of them will make each other better. No, Rashee Rice is not going to get a bajillion targets a game in 2025 with a healthy, fully integrated year to Xavier Worthy, but that does not mean he can't get a lot and be exceptional. I think Rashee Rice is going to be awesome. And here's the thing. People want to pump up all that Rashee Rice hype now. Going into last year, a lot of that shit didn't exist. A lot of people were still fading Rice, not all the way fully bought in. He's this generation's Deshaun Jackson. I'm excited for Worthy. Now, I also, and he was on the thumbnail for a reason, I don't think that Worthy is going to be the one that assumes $1,500. Right? I don't think Worthy's going to be the one, 1,500 targets, right? I don't think he's going to do that. I think the real beneficiary early for the Kansas City Chiefs in this offense with Rashee Rice's pending suspension is going to be Travis Kelce. I know we want him to retire, right? Man, Travis Kelce, so damn sorry. Get his old ass off the field. Please retire so we can give Noah Gray those targets. You know what I'm saying? Look, got to get that Jared Wiley involved. That's what we want, right? That's what people want. Travis Kelce in an awful season, right? Oh, you just stunk it up. Got with that Taylor Swift and lost all his powers. In his worst statistical year in a long time, since hell, ever, right? Rookie year. Still had 133 targets, 97 receptions, which was 12th in the NFL. 823 yards, top 40 in the NFL. I know it ain't high. It ain't 1,500 yards, 3 touchdowns. That was a problem. And he can't really run after the catch. But if you're going to tell me he's going to walk into another 125, 130 again, probably going to be pretty productive. Probably be a little more productive than that Terrence Ferguson you're drafting for the Rams. Probably going to be a little more productive than that Mason Taylor in 2025 that you're drafting for Justin Fields and the Jets. I believe the biggest beneficiary to Rashee Rice's early season, because Trav is fine at the beginning. It's towards the end when them knees and them hips start to go. I think that will be the biggest beneficiary to Rashee Rice. Not Worthy's shit is already probably in place. He might get a few more looks, but I think that underneath option, it's going to be like Travis Kelce, Juju Smith-Schuster, a lot of those old names that you don't like, but I don't think it means Xavier Worthy's just going to assume all of Rashee Rice's stuff. I believe his allotment of plays and targets are kind of allocated. He'll get some more game flow. But I'm very excited about I've come more around to Travis Kelce as this summer has progressed and drafting him for Kansas City, because I do think he's going to be the big beneficiary with Kelce could be cringe all you want. I'm with Rubio. 10th round Kelce. Give it to me. I don't give a shit what you do, who you do it with. Score me points. Help me advance. That's what I want. That's what I want. Maybe a hot take, but don't be surprised when Pickens outscores CD a lot of weeks. All right, bro. Where's the music? Got to get out of here on that one. Brooks. I don't know about that one, baby. Let's hit the music. Let's hit the music. Got to turn this down, though. Got to turn this down a little bit. There we go. Appreciate y'all being in the building. Close to 1,000 people total. Just your boy today. Jay Rich is on vacay, so make sure you are here. We're going to do it again on Wednesday. We're going to do it again on Friday. On Wednesday, we're going to kind of re-rank some of these rookies. Going into training camp, we're going to talk through some of these rookies. Would you rather Wednesday all damn day? So make sure you pull up bright and early. I will start on time because I'm on time every time right here on the channel. Make sure you tap into Kyle Williams, good Lord. Antonio Williams, wide receiver out of Clemson. Summer scouting video drops today. We've got Carnell Tate, the wide receiver out of Ohio State, dropping later this week, and Sam Levitt, quarterback out of Arizona State as well. Let me hit the chat real quick. We got a little super chat in here. Little super chat. Jacob Moon said, how did the brisket turn out? Any tips? I'm working on my wings and brisket recipe for September. Brisket was good. I needed some more salt though, man. I'm always cautious, especially when you're using damn kosher, like the big salt pieces. I'm like, man, am I over salting it? I needed a little more salt. It was tender. I only let it rest for 50 minutes. Everybody was hungry. It needed to rest a little longer. Juices redistributed well. But I got a Rectex, so it's real easy to set the temperature, use the meter thermometer probes, make sure your meat is good. You know, I'm smoking. I'm rolling at 235 to 250 the whole time. So, yeah, it was fine. It was fine. Needed a little more salt, though. Needed a little more salt. Appreciate you being in the building. I got to hit the music again because Jay Rich did not run it long enough. So let me do that again, and then we're going to get out of the building, and then we're going to do it again on Wednesday. So thank you to each and every eye, each and every ear in the building. If you're catching this after the fact, go back, subscribe to the channel, go to the podcast feed, check that out. Dynasty Theory, Scott Connor should be back this week. Shane Manila, Brandon, Ty DeClaire, Gabe, the full crew over here at DD and DDFFB. Much love. Make today great. Be awesome, y'all. Up, man. Solo content. If y'all like this, man, this is what I'm going to do in season. Some solo shows, me and Jay Rich. So thank y'all for rocking with me today. And I'll see y'all, beautiful people, on Wednesday. I'm out. Peace.